This video from Death by Bunjie is all about how you can turn your subcompact tractor or compact tractor into a forklift or a skid steer. Well, not exactly, but I am going to do a video here about these handy forks that I have that bolt onto the front of this New Holland Boomer 24 tractor. I really like this tractor. It's really handy. The bucket on the front, I'm able to, move dirt around. I've moved some snow around here. Those of you on the Facebook page saw a video about that where I moved some snow around during that big snowstorm we got at the end of the winter. But the one way that you can actually make this bucket even more useful is to get a set of forks like these. Now, I've showed on the Facebook page over the last couple of years several different times where I had used these forks to go and do stuff in the woods, whether it's moving logs, moving rocks, things of that nature. I had actually moved a whole bunch of stuff down in the woods. When I've cut trees to make way for new food plots or bedding areas, I've moved the logs with this tractor throughout the woods. Posted pictures of that and little time lapses of that and things of that nature on the Facebook page. And a couple of those videos have showed up here on the YouTube channel. I figured I would do a little video on it. It'd be a good little topic because it's something that interests people and it's very useful, and I think it's something that people need to know about. These forks, I don't know who makes them. I'll be honest with you up front. They were thrown in when I bought the tractor and I bought my rototiller. These forks were thrown in sort of as an afterthought. I didn't have to pay for them or anything, so I don't even know how much they cost. I suspect they're around 100, 150 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. You could buy these from some online places like Northern Tool, but I recommend you buy them locally. Go find a local tractor dealer, whether it's a New Holland dealer or a Kubota dealer, or somebody in your neighborhood who actually deals in the tractors and tractor accessories and parts, and see if they can order in a part like this for you. If they can order them in, it's going to save you a ton on shipping. And the reason I say that is the weight of these things is quite extraordinary. They're like 30, 40 pounds a piece. So between the two of them, if you're paying for 80 pounds of shipping or more, that's an awful lot. And that's going to take its toll on your pocketbook. To avoid that, see if you can pick them up locally. They'll fit in the back of your car. You can carry them home that way. They are pretty handy, pretty basic. They just bolt on. They have handles here that you can screw and unscrew, slide them over the bucket and then over the lip of the bucket there, and they have a little stop that'll stop them right in place, right where you want them. You tighten down those handles and you're good to go. You can put them together, closer together if you're lifting up a pallet or something like that. You can put them farther apart if you are going to be moving logs. I put them all the way to the edges for when I am moving logs and things like that. So it's very important to be able to move them. I like to have them both even though. I don't put them both on one side, but I can see why, there might be an application for that. As far as the durability and strength of these things is concerned, they're solid steel, so I don't think there's any problem with them, as far as their strength is concerned. But they do say on there 1,000 pounds capacity, which is fine, but you don't want to overload them, and you don't want to load them clear out to the end of the fork. It does have a warning label about that. I've never had an issue with them. I will say that from time to time, when I've been in the woods moving things with them, if they get pushed, if you're pushing logs with them or something like that, occasionally they'll tilt in a little bit. You got to get down and adjust them and straighten them back out, but it doesn't damage them in any way. They're very durable. I've lifted an awful lot with this, moved a lot of logs with it. In fact, I moved some pretty good-sized logs with this little tractor. I've got a stack of logs up here by the driveway that I'm hoping to get a buddy of mine to saw for me. So I can get some lumber out of them rather than just let them go to waste as firewood or whatever. Need firewood too, but I'd like to be able to saw them if at all possible. It moves some pretty heavy logs with this little tractor and with these forks. So they're useful for that from that perspective as well. Maintenance on these things, I leave them in the tractor shed. I don't leave them out in the rain. I think if you left them out in the elements, they would rust up pretty quick. What I've done is I use red grease over the winter. When I'm not going to be using them, they're going to be sitting in the tractor shed. I spray them down heavy, all the threads, with red grease, and then I work the threads good. And this is a product that will stay on there for a longer period of time. It doesn't evaporate off. It'll lay on there all winter long and prevent the corrosion and hopefully keep the rust to a minimum. In the summer, what I do and what I'll be doing today before I put them back in there is I use Lubriplate. Lubriplate is my favorite of all the plates. No, the Lubriplate is actually a really handy product to have on hand for stuff like this. I prefer the WD-40. I don't use WD-40 for stuff. I use Lubriplate because when you spray it on here, you'll see why. This stuff, when I spray this on those threads, it's going to lay on there good. It doesn't evaporate off quite as quickly from my experience or from what I've observed as WD-40 does. You spray this stuff on there, it just kind of lays on there. So I like that as well. Well, that about does it for this episode of Death by Bunjie. Some people had asked me on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel whether I was going to do any more videos about the Boomer 24, about this tractor. And if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe. Check out the Facebook page as well. And until next time, all hail Bunjie!